Buying error cards off of eBay can sometimes be a little bit of a gamble, and today I want to show you a live opening of me seeing if the error I saw is in fact an error. I believe it's an Italian Haunter from Fossil Set, and there's like a yellow stain error on it. It looked very weird, it didn't look like it was a reflection or anything, so I'm hoping that it is, but let's see right now. Yes! Oh my gosh. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my god. So now, just within the last month, I've become a little bit of a Haunter collector. I have a Mirror Hollow SGC5. We have the blue stain error. And now this. Holy cow. That's really cool.
Hey guys, my name is Matt. I talk about error Pokemon cards, and let's get started in this week's episode. Shadowless Ninetails with the no damage error, listed for $2,400, sold for $23,2750, an odd amount, but a lot of money. No damage means there's no 80 right here. CGC 8.5. Average non-error price $200, so this added $2,100 of value. If this was a grade 9, it could have sold for up to $7,000, and grade 9.5, $8,500, because that's the average error price. Oh nice, looks like we have a new seller here, congrats to them. We have a inverted and misaligned back. The front, Pokemon Communication trainer card, but that back is what we're interested in. So it flipped upside down and shifted down and to the right. Yeah, alignment dot. Card looks like it's in pretty good shape here. And it sold for $60. Average non-error price is $1.15. That gives us a 5,117% EVI. And that's good enough for number 6 this week. First edition Typhlosion, back at 9.5 with the red dot error. I'm not sure if this is repeating or not, but a pretty good sized ink error right there next to the symbol. Listed for $35,000, sold for $9,750. No, I thought, oh, this is good, maybe add a little bit of value to this card. No, average non-error price is $1,300 for a grade 9.5. So, this added like $8,400 of value. Absolutely insane. Yeah, this is probably one of the grails from this generation of Pokemon. Obviously, the first edition Typhlosion. Next up, first edition Pikachu with the Ghost Stamp error. Right here, the D and the 1 in first edition are missing. Everything else is a lot lighter. A neat repeating error. Sells for a lot. This sold for $300 and added $200 of value. Miscut Psychic Energy from Rebel Clash. So miscut that it doesn't really even look like a Pokemon card. We have a rounded edge here. Obtuse angle. Acute angle. Right angle. With alignment dot and that. And the card looks like it's got a little bit of damage here, I believe. I don't know what that would be, actually. Very cool, though. Clearly, the whole sheet just got turned around and then cut up. So, yeah, very neat. Sold for $50. Average non-error price, I couldn't find it, so I said $1. I think that's pretty fair. So that gives us a 4,900% EVI. That's good enough for number 7 this week. Just want to take a minute to say thank you, everyone, for the nice comments on the last episode. I did read them, and I appreciate all of your feedback and support. And if you want to let me know you like this video, like the video. Thank you so much. Next up, we have a filler card. So I still don't know too much about filler cards. I know there's information out there, but here we have one that is completely yellow. So all yellow, and the back is a normal Pokemon card. I know these are very rare and sought after. This one sold for $140. Unfortunately, I don't know what to compare this to, so for now, I just put something random that wouldn't be in the top 10. But let me know, should I be adding these to the top 10? And what would be a good comparable price? Would it just be $1? I have no idea. Also not a grade 8, I messed that up. That's okay. So yeah, neat filler card. On to the next one. Miscut Paris Pokemon Error Card, Misprint, very rare. Showing another card. Basically a miscut. I like this artwork, very tropical. And I also like having the tropical blue on top there. I like the alignment dot. And I like the back, it's consistent miscut and alignment dot. Very neat. Sold for $50.37 once you convert it. And average non-error price is $1.24. So that gives us 3,962% for the EVI. That's good enough for number 8 this week. Next up, we have a first edition Crowbat from Neo Revelation. Why am I talking about this? It's a double hollow error, and I've never actually looked to see how can you tell if this is double hollow or not. Didn't look it up, but I think just looking between these two images, you can kind of see right here. The hollow is covering the moon, which I think is really cool. Now there might be a little bit of a white outline here that is missing here. Oh, the eyes are covered too, look at that. But yeah, I think it was just kind of cool to be able to tell, just by comparing the two images, why it was an error. Oh, also it sold for $1,500. That's pretty neat too, which is quite a bit more than the average non-error price. So usually only goes for around $115. Is that right? Yeah, price is a little bit down now, but confirmed doesn't sell for that much. Kind of crazy. So around $1,400 of value added to this card. Next up, we have a Pikachu with another red dot error. Different spot and a completely different era and everything. But yeah, this sold for $100. Let's take a look. Right here. Oh, I love these printer hickeys or these ink errors that are multiple colors. You can see red and then also yellow. And the yellow shows enough on the yellow background here too. Very neat, covering Illustrator. There we go. That's as zoomed in as I can make it. Wait. There we go. $100. The average non-error price for this is $1.35. So that gives us 7,307% for the EVI, which is good enough for number 3 this week. Oh, look at that. The new seller actually sold another card. Oh, I'd love to see it. So here we have a Greninja Gold Star from the Pokemon Celebrations. It's sealed. It's wonky miscut. Look at that. So much so where the corners are actually off a little bit, which is neat to see. Love to see these sealed miscuts. Really don't find them too often, and that's why it sold for $250 and an EVI of 900%. Hisuian Zoroarch V-Star miscut, $250. Shifted over quite a bit. What would that be? A centimeter maybe, a little less. Completely different card here. Back, consistent. Several alignment dots, very neat. Line indicating it's a different card. A lot of money, $225 of value added. Look at this cute espion. This sold for $60. Shifted miscut. Alignment dot, another card, and alignment dot, another card here. Very neat, and just a sliver, look at that, of the border. I think people like the evolutions, that's why this sold for as much, because this is a crazy miscut, don't get me wrong, but average non-error price is only $1.57. So, but that EVI, 3,722%. That's good enough for number 10 this week. Very neat. Oh, wow. Next up, we have a Topps miscut. 60/40 miscut, I like that. We got Geodude and Weedle? Yeah. We got Geodude and Weedle here. And this sold for $146.07 in auction, I believe, or just best offer. Very nice. Now, I don't believe this is NFC, but hard to tell. I know there was one before where I thought it was normal, but it was miscut enough where there's no way it could have been an actual card. So the sellers had this since they were like 4 years old, so that's pretty cool to see. And they got quite a bit of money for it. Average non-error price is $2.30 for this Geodude since it's the 60%. 6,251% for the EVI. That's good enough for number 5. CGC 10 Mudkip with, I believe, a repeated printer hickey. Look at that. I always say if the printer hickey is on the Pokemon itself, sells for quite a bit more. I'm not sure if this sold for quite a bit more, but sold for $90, which is pretty good considering average non-error price for CGC 10 is $28. But yeah, that's a neat one. A neat ink error, a neat printer hickey, and obviously a perfectly graded card. Very nice. Evolution Box War Turtle error. Should be Squirtle. This is War Turtle. A neat repeating error. Sells for quite a bit. This one is in okay shape. Sold for $115. That is not bad at all. If you see this raw on this show, it's usually gonna be in the top 10. And this is no exception. Average non-error price, $3. So 3,746% is the EVI. That's good enough for number 9 this week. And yes, this is a repeating error, and we have pricing for this. Average goes for $110, so this is pretty close. Base set Mewtwo, error we've not seen in a while. It's an additional ink error here, kind of like the Haunter in a way. And Ranges and severity could be as severe all the way over here, and this is the less severe example. Sold for $50, which I think is a good deal for the buyer. Added $30 of value. Condition of the card, good. Ooh, yeah. No, that's an awesome pickup for someone. I bet this sold fast because it sold for the exact amount it asked for. 2023 Pokemon Misprint Magikarp name blotched. It's called the Guyarp, or the Ink Splash iCarp error, whatever you want to call it. $75 printer hickey. Right here, repeating error, very neat. You barely see the G, I wouldn't call it Guyarp, I'd call it iCarp, yeah. Card in pretty good condition. I hope that's just on the sleeve itself. Average non-error price, $1.18. So 6,256% for the EVI. That's good enough for number 4 this week. Next up, we have the Fighting Fairy Misprint. I love that. So these energy cards can sometimes have a insufficient ink error, or would be a water obstruction error, where basically it didn't allow some of the ink to set properly. And it's the color of a fairy energy. So cool. CGC 8.5 sold for $125. Look at that. The color that these errors make is incredible. Seeing it on a grass energy and make that blue is very neat. And then obviously this makes it a very nice pink color. It's cool that it shows a little bit of the other color here on the circle for the fighting energy. Average non-error price, $7.50. So 1,500% for the EVI. All right, next up we have a German Yu-Gi-Oh card. Yes, with a hollow shift. Look at this. Should be right here, actually in the art box. Shifted down, and that's it, just down. Very cool though. I know these are somewhat prevalent. I know if you saw a shift this large in Pokemon cards, the vintage cards would sell for a lot. This sold for $430, so obviously very rare. Sold in auction, I believe, yes. But I believe it's more prevalent than Pokemon cards. And Pokemon cards just seem to be more valuable in general. Really neat error though. Despite this being a German card too, it sold for $430. Average non-error price for the English version is $4.82. So EVI of 8,821% is good enough for number 2 this week. I don't know, I like sprinkling in one non-Pokemon card into this series. Let me know if I should keep doing that or not. It's cool to see. I think all of us error collectors can kind of enjoy other errors as well. PSA 10 Execute from Legendary Collections with the repeating error where I believe the foil is shifted. Now you can tell because the symbols here expose underneath the foil. A really cool repeating error. I don't know how rare it is. I know this usually doesn't sell for too much more than the non-error card. And I guess we can see that proof is in the pudding here. This sold for $765. Average non-error price is around $600 for PSA 10. And so that same ratio kind of seems to hold true when you're scaling it down, even for the raw cards. This might sell for a little bit more though. So yeah, perfect PSA 10 though, very neat. Next up, here's a big dog. We got the Dark Dragonite non-hollow error. So this should be 2282, but it's 582, but it's still the non-hollow. A perfect PSA 10. Sold for $5,100 in auction. Looks like a consignment shop sold it. A sports cards consignment shop. I wonder how much more this would sold if it went with Z&G Emporium or not. Hard to say, but that's a lot of money. I don't know how many there are for this. What's the population report, but it's probably single digits. Average non-error price, $200 for PSA 10 non-hollow Dark Dragonite. $4,900 of value added, and the EVI is 2,457%. Not the top 10, but really incredible sale. Probably one of the cooler ones this week. And would you believe it that Dwight Schrute sold the number 1 card this week? We got Schrute Farm Beats. Dwight here sold the Krabby from Fossil set with the slash error. Look at that, missing ink makes it look like the pointer finger is added to this. Schrute Farm Beats. $150 for this. Oh man, how cool is that? And this is in pretty good condition too. I don't think that's on the card itself. I mean, not bad at all. Seriously, it's a lot of money. Average non-error price is $1.25. So if the slash error is in a recap, it's most likely going to be in the top 3, if not number 1. EVI 11,899%, which is obviously number 1 this week. The average error price is $62, which seems a little low, but maybe the information hasn't really caught up to that yet. Alright, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure you're subscribed if you haven't. Goodbye.